BXB. It's in the game!
Hey guys, it's me Ben, back with another one of my off-the-cuff rambling quick reviews, and this time I am looking at Aven Colony by Mothership Entertainment and Team 17, who are publishing this game. And sometimes I feel when I'm reviewing these idea Xbox titles, these indie games coming to console, that I'm a bit of a kid in a candy store, because it was only a few months ago that I looked at Planet Base by Madruga Works, and after that Cities Skylines, and here we are with the third city management game on the console, and this one I think is the best yet. Now, first of all, let's quickly look at the amount of options you have in Aven Colony before you even load up the game. You've got a campaign with multiple maps, and then you've got loads of sandbox maps. And as an RTS gamer and a turn-based strategy gamer from back in the day, I love being able to just load up a sandbox and build the biggest city possible. Because here in Aven Colony, it's very similar to Planet Base that came out just a few months ago on consoles, though that was a port of a PC game that had existed for some time. Here with Aven Colony, however, we've got a game that's being released on all the consoles and all the platforms and PC at the same time, and you can tell this is a newer game and it's got a much bigger scope than Planet Base. Now, Planet Base, and I will mention Planet Base a lot in this review, you know, because it's the obvious comparison on console for this type of game. But in Aven Colony, we're set a bit further in the future than we were in Planet Base. Planet Base was more like near future, Mars colonization, things like that. Aven Colony, we're outside of the solar system, the first outside of solar system colony, and it's beautiful. This game is stunning. You have these lush, varied environments. The first place you go to in the campaign, which is what a lot of the footage I've gathered from here for the video, is this tropical environment, but there are deserts, there are snowy tundras, there are rocky expanses, and each one of them offers a different type of challenge with the resource makeup and also the alien lifeform makeup. Now, one of the biggest criticisms I leveled at Planet Base, which actually even everything that is so similar, I mean, there's only one or two ways I guess you can do a strategy game like this, a management game like this on consoles, is with the radial menus, is with the quick selections with the D-pad. Now, but one of the biggest criticisms I offered to Planet Base was that there wasn't a lot of variety in the buildings you could place, and as you're seeing here in my review of Aven Colony, that is not the case. There are dozens and dozens of options. There are a myriad of top level selections which drill down into multiple levels of other sort of buildings you can place. There's research, there's technology to look into, there's ways of having to not just manage the life of your colony and and the colonists, but you're also dealing with the alien sort of spores and plagues and things like that. So there's a lot more going on here in Aven Colony than there was in Planet Base, you know, and that's probably got a lot to do with the fact that this is quite a few years later in development. But you know, the fact that it's come out almost back to back on consoles, it's interesting because it means there's an appetite for these types of game on the home console. And when it was well made as this, with such brilliantly interface design, you know, in the story mode, in the campaign of Aven Colony, you've even got like really nice, quite high quality voice acting, and this is from a team of 4 people in Texas, comprised of industry veterans from games such as Fable 2. I noticed when looking on their website. I'm not sure exactly where the Fable 2 element comes into Aven Colony, but I can tell you that was one of my favourite games of the Xbox 360 generation, and now I'm here reviewing what might be my favourite management game on the Xbox One generation. Now, this game is polished, it's well made, it's got all the kind of top level, it's sort of interesting infographics that you can really dig into managing the minutiae of your colony as it grows from the small startup to the big sprawling metropolis that you hope to have by the end of your map. Now, like I said, there's the campaign which goes to multiple locations, and there's the sandbox mode, so there is lots and lots of replayability in here. Unlike, say, Cities Skylines, where you start dealing on the macro level as things grow into the tens and 20,000, hundreds of thousands of people, here in Aven Colony you're dealing with hundreds and eventually thousands of people, but not much bigger than that if you manage things correctly. I like that small scale. I feel like that means it doesn't run away from you, that you have a direct input and you can see the results to the actions that you are doing within the game. I'm loving Aven Colony, honestly. There are hundreds of hours of gameplay here. I barely scratched the surface, though I have put in tens of hours for this review, and I can't give this game anything less than the score I'm going to give, because Planet Base did everything so damn well and I gave it 4 stars. And the biggest criticism I leveled at Planet Base was a lack of variety in the buildings and the things you can do in this game, and that is not a problem for Aven Colony. Aven Colony has so many things you can do. It has so many buildings, it has so many options for trade, it has so many options with the way you can manage things, and you can put in different policies in place like you can in Cities Skylines, that this game is as close to a perfect management game as you will get on console. I love the sci-fi setting, I love the lushness of the environment, I love even the silly story and the silly dialogue that pops up as you play the game. You actually get to know and care about the characters that are interacting with you, which is an incredibly rare thing in a game such as this, on this sort of scale. This has been a fantastic experience. Well done to Mothership Entertainment. So because of all of that, I highly recommend you check out this game, and I'm going to give it 5 stars.
BXB. It's in the game.